Holy fucking crew. Oh, this is all just runs off an Xbox controller.
You bet.
Set coordinates, brought into this machine, printed out on here.
On a scale of 1 to Mercur, how close are you?
Wow. All right, so the van, what a nice little break that was from the thing I actually have to finish, which is this Gymkhana Corolla. And we were waiting on a particular tool because it makes life easier. And so anyway, on today's episode, we are going to utilize our new FastCut to get this VR6 properly sorted in there. Isn't that right, Jolly?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the first part of the bracket that we're gonna make is this side. So passenger side, a bar that comes down off of here and connects to the factory mount, right? So that's the initial plan. So first to do the plate. But luckily, that's gonna be the easy side. The other side's a little more complicated, but what's gonna make it extra easy is that this handy dandy engine stand mount that I got from Eurowise already has the template made. So we're just gonna trace this out, and then we're gonna take this tracing and we're gonna go use the Digitizer, which is to me one of the coolest parts of the FastCut machine because it allows guys like me to be able to use that without a lot of knowledge on how to do things in SolidWorks. So let's start with this. All right, so there it is. And usually you cut it out real nicely and then you tape it to a piece of metal and you grind away to make it perfect, right? So I would put it on something like this. I would cut this all right where it's supposed to be. We're gonna do it a little different today. We're gonna move over here. We're gonna use this. This right here is the Digitizer. Basically what that does is allows you to set coordinates using this, then gets brought into this machine and eventually printed out on here. So let's get one of the guys who knows more about this to walk us through it all. All right, so this is Charlie. He will be my shaman on the way to making bracket brines like a full-on thing, right? So this is the template I hand drew. Normally this would have taken like 3 or 4 machines to get this done, right? Like,
And how long did that take you?
for me, probably like 4 times. I'd have to throw out like 3 versions because I did it wrong. But, so we got this thing taped down. By the way, I'm just calling this the Digitizer. Is that what you guys call it?
Exactly what it is.
Nice, see, I'm already a pro at this.
Stolen valor, the whole 9 yards.
I'm gonna start on a straight line. So I'll grab my straight line tool.
Yep.
I start from here and I'll go to here. I got a straight line.
Okay, that's where it starts.
Then I'll go to here.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna grab my arc. And so I'm gonna grab the second and third point of this arc. So we're gonna go in the middle and then the end. Radius.
All right.
Back to our straight line. Grab this guy and we will do another radius. So again, middle and then end of the curve.
Looks a lot like what we got. Okay. Now we got the basic outline done. All right, so now we do the holes.
I can do a 3-point hole. So with the 3-point, any 3 points.
And it'll find the center.
And
Oh yeah, that's smart.
oh yeah, that makes it too easy. 2, 3.
Oh, that's it.
So now we'll save it.
Let's do VR86 passenger mount.
What we can use is the edit tool here. And we're just gonna do some node editing.
So there it is, after a little bit of cleanup. It looks better than my hand drawing, which is good. Now what do we do?
We get it ready to cut. All the holes, everything looks good.
We're gonna cut this into something thick. So,
I'm gonna put these holes on another layer so I can cut them a little slower.
see, this is done as 2 layers because you want a different torch setting for the holes so that they're slower cut, makes them a nicer cut than what you're doing for the outside perimeter, right?
Exactly. Okay, so we turn on the table.
Oh, this is all just runs off an Xbox controller.
You bet.
Yo, that's insane. My man just playing Halo out here with lasers.
I just drew something on a piece of paper and we were making it less than 10 minutes and we're already at the praying
Dude,
process.
is this peak bracket
This is
Brian
peak
right
bracket
now?
Brian right now. I'm trying to calm myself here. That's what I'll be doing at 3 o'clock in the morning tonight.
Here we go.
Make sure to look correct.
That was great. Stuff with the best of hand. Woo! Look at that. 10 minutes later. Yo, that's crazy.
So you just drew that. You knew that
I
you
just
needed
drew
that.
that, and then we just traced it. It took me longer to probably draw that.
Wow. Barely have to deburr. It's so clean.
A little bit of dross on the inside hole, which is normal because we slowed it down. The rest of it, you're good to go.
All right, let's go see if it fits.
You know, if you're anything like us, tires may be one of those things that well, may last a month or a few minutes. But luckily for all of us, eBay Motors now has a pretty sick tire program. Check this out. Let's say you need some new meats for the race car, or I don't know, new rubbers for the daily.
Protection.
You can go to eBay Motors, you can buy the tires, and they have this new program where you can find a place to install it.
Say what?
That's right. They will send the tires to the shop. All you got to do is pull up. You get these things mounted, balanced, new valve stems, everything. And this covers the disposal fee or any of those other environmental fees that typically come with that. So you get to save a lot of money and you can get the exact tires that you want. No BSing around. So eBay Motors, now keeping you stocked on the meats. Let's go, baby.
So there it is. That's our plate. Now to make another one to go here, connect this, and voila, we've got it partially mounted. This side's gonna be a bit more complicated, but we'll get to that. One thing at a time. But now, unfortunately, I think the FastCut guys go home, so it's all on me to figure out. Try this again. All right, so we've spent a bit of time off camera thinking through how we want to connect this. So we actually ordered this piece off of eBay Motors. It's an E36 mount, right?
E36.
E36.
First I was thinking we go solid mounts, but we'll try this to start. So here's what it looks like out of the car. And this, like I said, this is a guaranteed fit for an E36. Who knew we'd be using it in a AE86 instead? But what's nice is it just so happens to have this nub on it that lines up perfectly in these mounts. So we did a bunch of looking at different motor mounts on good old Google Images, found this, and it turned out to work perfect for, well, we think it's gonna work perfect. But we started having the conversation of how many times we're gonna have to take this engine in and out, in and out.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
So what we're gonna try to figure out right now is a place for us to cut this where we'd have enough room to be able to take off the bumper, take off the grill, pull the engine in and out this way, and still retain some of this. You know, I don't even know how much, we could probably also just replace this with a pipe.
Tube it out.
Yeah, it might just be easier, or just strap it out. But because we don't really need this, like we're gonna have pins. The thought is we cut it there. I think you put the dotted line on the wrong side on this one. There you go. Do not cut there. Yeah. So we're basically gonna cut that center part out for easy access. All right, let's get after this first. Holy f***ing crew.
What a poor soul. What did you do in life to be stuck here in this project? Ryan is so artisanal that he busts out a ruler that hardly has measurements on it. It just got a grid.
Oh, that's to my boy right here.
Layout.
Yeah.
All right, so in cell G87.
On a scale of 1 to Mercur, how close are you?
Wow. Anyway, you guys can leave now because we were getting work. You can stay, Angela. You're useful. Thanks, bud.
There we go. It's mounted.
All right.
That's how that works. And now look at how much room we got. Pull the engine out. We're gonna just reinforce some things. Made some little plates that we'll put in here, and then I'm gonna make something else that basically sits over this that can be bolted in. So that can be bolted back in place. Over to the boys to cut on the FastCut. Oh look, perfect timing.
It's going down.
Weld that there. Just tack that boy in, put a hole, boom, do the same thing for the other side. Voila, we have ourselves a removable core support.
But you shouldn't have to take the engine out. This engine should be reliable forever.
Yo!
This is planning. Are you planning? Yeah, are you planning failure?
First off, I hate cars that don't have removable front.
Why are you explaining?
Because you should always be able to pull the engine out.
I thought these were reliable.
Stop with your like talking.
Isn't that why you're putting this in here to begin with? They're reliable.
All right, there it is. The all new removable rad support. It's using the same holes that mount the radiator here and here. So it's all just kind of built in. This will go back and mount to the proper location it had down there. But now I can remove it to get it out. Since we did have to scuff it up to weld it, I'm just gonna paint it gray so it kind of blends in. Let's paint it and then get back to work on this whole situation.
And we got this little box right here. This fancy little.
Look at the welds on that. Woo, your boy is just getting pretty good. Getting there, looking good. So the idea is we built this slider mount, right? So we put this in, we put all the stuff into FastCut, cut it all out, and Angela welded it up. We're probably gonna need to slide this back and forth to get it to sit right. We'll rock off like this, build a mount that connects up to here. That'll lock in that one side. And then from there, as we adjust, we think we might have to bring this forward a bit. This is about where we want it to live height-wise, so that's fine.
It's nice too, because with like the tight packaging with the oil pan and the dry sump pump and everything, like it's nice to have that little leeway.
Yep.
Be able to slide it forward.
Yeah, especially as like we're gonna have this thing in and out, obviously. That's why we moved the rad support. So right now we're just gonna tack it up just to get it in place so we're somewhat holding it. And I added this tape measure here because I basically measured from basically this point to this point is 87.5 millimeters. So we'll find center on that.
Just gotta say one thing, millimeters.
Millimeters,
been
bro.
around German cars.
Millimeters. Sorry, yo, I'm a metric boy. It just makes more sense.
What, you don't know 3 feet equals a yard? Is that too spooky for you?
All right, Angela's gonna get that pipe sorted out. We are gonna tack this in, and then we're gonna pull the engine out and tackle a bunch of other stuff. I'm just really happy about this piece right here. Well, I made a Toyota more like an Audi or a Volkswagen where you can put it into service position. You can now remove the whole front end. All right, so here it is. Look at that piece of work, Angela. You're getting better at this every day.
Getting better. We got the passenger mount built out. It's all tubed out to the box, to the E36 bushing.
Yeah, look at all those pieces. So we got this sorted. This piece right here positioned our engine to be in the center, and then the trans mount will basically take care of if it goes this way or this way. And then once that's all settled up, we'll lock it in nice and tight this way, which will also kind of keep it from that way. As you can see, we've built in a ton of play into this so that if we still need to move things around, we can. And then once it's all sorted in there, we might build a whole nother set of mounts once we know exactly where it needs to fit, right?
That's how it goes.
So anyway, next episode, we gotta do the last few things before we pull the engine out and ship it off to Tectonics and integrate it to build top and the bottom end. But first we gotta see how a bunch of things are gonna fit. Most importantly, induction. So anyway, all that next episode. Never thought we'd have a semi truck. Does it run? No idea.
Some guys here, we're gonna fit some Porsche ITVs to this.
Who did this?
Dude. I think like that's how they do it on TikTok, right? Like, and then, yeah, no, it's like shit. Moment of truth. Right out.